Hi, this is Lowell, Jensen, and welcome to an Atheist Church field trip. I'm here in Portland, Oregon. Do stop laughing. I'm here today in Portland with Mr. Lizard. Let me introduce you to Mr. Lizard, Brett Wilson. Okay, so you want to show us some lizards?
Sure. I suppose start at the top and work our way down.
So that's the female, and then there's our male. And you've had little hatchlings, you've had little babies.
Yep, the last of them just shipped out. He's getting a little saucy.
Oh,
right
that is awesome.
It's all show. But he doesn't like the strap. He thinks it's a snake.
And these two are having babies.
Yeah. In fact, we got one of those up here.
Goat and Volkswagen.
Yep.
How old is this baby?
This one's 6 weeks. And if you look here, he's still got his belly button.
Do you end up speaking at a lot of Christian schools?
Yeah, actually, quite a lot.
And are there any conflicts between the science that you talk about and what they teach?
No, because I don't really touch on those issues. Well, you can sneak it in.
Right.
I mean, as long as I don't call it evolution, as long as I talk about, like...
They adapted, or...
Right, like, we'll show you the legless lizard. That's a really wonderful way to introduce children to evolution without talking about it. Ooh, this got me. He's a lizard. He's got eyelids. He's got ears. He has a detachable tail. That's everything from there back his tail. But he has vestigial limbs. They're little tiny lumps somewhere on his body where the remnants of limbs are. So that's an easy way to introduce children to the concept of evolution without actually ever saying the words. All the lizards are named after food. And all of the snakes are named after leather goods. They got about 6 months between rainy seasons to blow up to where they're going to have enough body fat so they can survive 6 months of hibernation. This is Krabby Patty. He was the skin for the dinosaurs in Land of the Lost. So they had this great big huge long hallway that I'd put him down the ground and then I'd run alongside him and they'd run along with the cameras, and of course us running after him just made him get even more agitated. But he's running down the hallway and he's hitting me with his tail over and over again, like bruises and cuts all over my leg. It was awesome. This is a red-tailed boa, and proof that you can buy anything off Craigslist.
All right, let's talk about that scar on your face then.
All right, the scar. Keith called me. He had a neighbor that was having some problems, and so he'd taken her iguana away from her. And he called and said, "You got to come out and get this iguana." And actually, he was so mellow. He drove the entire drive home seated on the headrest, the passenger headrest, and kept him for a while, found him a home, and the girl that took him, he bit, and so she was afraid of him, so I ended up back with him for a while. At this time, he was probably over 5 feet. He was pretty big. He had a shelf actually set up with his heat light and his full spectrum light and a tree that he could climb down if he wanted to. And so I hear him shuffling around in there, and I look around the corner and I see him like his dewlaps like all the way out, the thing under the thing, and his eyes are big as saucers, and he's arched up in like a really, really, fearful position. And he starts to go to the bathroom on the shelf. And he's totally housebroken. So I go to grab him and throw him into the tub, and as soon as I get him airborne, I realize that he's freaking out because his tail's caught. And he turns and he bit me twice in the face. And we go out to the hospital, and they fill up, they give me the form, and the bottom question, the last question is, what is your primary complaint? Which I write, lizard tried to eat my head. After about an hour, the nurse comes out with the clipboard, and she goes, Brett Wilson? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. The process to get an animal, particularly one that I'm getting as an adult, ready for the kids to handle, can take years. Bearded dragons are probably the best. They require a lot of space because they're really active. For their psychological health, it's really important that they have a lot of room, particularly with more than one in there. Oh, they're awful pets. They get really big. Even the most docile one, and that one that I ended up getting from you was very docile. But when they go into their breeding seasons, they get really aggressive, and they can sense our pheromones. If you're a female, they want to breed with you, and if you're a male, they want to fight with you. This would be maybe a third of the size that you would need for an iguana, because they need this much floor space, and they'd also need something that's 6-7 feet tall. I mean, they're wonderful animals, and I love them, but it's just not a good idea.
Cool. Thanks for letting me stay with you.
Bye, Atheist Church.